The Hitchhiker Comprehension Skills Test. Choose the best answer. Number 1. What is the setting of the story? A. California and Brooklyn, New York. B. A 1940 Ford V8. C. On the highway, early 1940s. Or D. All of these. Number 2. Why does Adams state facts about himself at the beginning of the play? A. To show he is sane. B. To plead for help. C. To understand what is happening. Or D. All of these. Number 3. Which excerpt best shows that the flashback will be used? A. It's all taken place since the death of her oldest son, Ronald. B. I'm in an auto camp on Route 66, just west of Gallup, New Mexico. 6 days ago, I left Brooklyn to drive to California. Or D. None of these. Number 4. Read the excerpts. What do they foreshadow? Promise me you'll be extra careful. Don't fall asleep or drive fast or pick up any strangers on the road. I was in excellent spirits. Drive ahead. Even the loneliness seemed like a lark, but I reckoned without him. A. An accident. B. The appearance of the hitchhiker. C. Death of a character. D. None of these. Number 5. Where does Adams see the hitchhiker? A. On the Brooklyn Bridge. B. Standing beside a barbed wire fence. C. Outside the Navajo Reservation. D. All of these. Number 6. Read the following words and their definitions. Which word contains the Latin root word junct as it is used in junction? A. Conjunction, which is a noun. That means a word that joins 2 or more sentences. B. Adjunct, which is a noun, something attached to another. C. Both of these. Or D. Neither of these. Number 7. In which of these sentences is the word distinctly used the same as in the following excerpt? I could see him quite distinctly, the bag, the cap, even the spots of fresh rain spattered over his shoulders. A. Although they are identical twins, Avery and Amaria have distinctly different hairstyles. B. With his new glasses, Omar could see every street sign distinctly. C. Both of these. D. Neither of these. Number 8. Why is the following event important to the development of the plot? Adams sees the hitchhiker on the Brooklyn Bridge. A. The hitchhiker is introduced. B. The setting is established. C. It is the climax of the story. D. It puts the reader in suspense. Number 9. Which of the following excerpts includes an example of suspense? A. No, people don't drive through here in all kinds. No, people drive through here in all kinds of weather. Mostly business, though. Ain't many pleasure cars. Pleasure cars out on the turnpike this season of the year. B. The train was coming closer. I could hear its bell, its cry, its whistling cry. C. Listen, just a minute ago there was a man standing there, right beside the stand, and a suspicious-looking man. D. It was a bright, sunshiny afternoon. The peaceful Ohio fields, brown with autumn and stubble, laying dreaming in the golden light. Number 10. Which statement best summarizes the play's resolution? A. Adams has become a ghost. B. Adams grieves the loss of his mother. C. Adams decides to find the hitchhiker. Or D. Adams ponders his own death. Number 11. Identify one example of foreshadowing in the story and explain what event is foreshadowed. Use 2 complete sentences and include non-negotiables. Number 12. Read the example below. Identify the story devices being used. Joyce watched the clock. The minute hand seemed frozen over the 10. The slow tick-tock seemed to promise that time was moving forward, but Joyce had no sense of it. All she knew was that she had to wait until 8 o'clock. Is that foreshadowing, flashback, or suspense? Number 13. Read the example below and identify the story device being used. Linda heard a scratching at the door. As she walked through the kitchen to get to the living room, the scratching seemed to get louder. She assumed it was the cat, who may have snuck out, but she saw Snowball fast asleep on the corner of the couch. The scratching became more insistent and urgent. Linda rushed to the door, swung it open, expecting to see something horrible or frightening. It was a branch, blown by the wind and scratching against the door. Is that foreshadowing, flashback, or suspense? Number 14. Read the example below. Identify the story device being used. As the old man watched the boys playing baseball in the vacant lot, he thought back to his own boyhood, the friends he had in his hometown. They'd cleared the debris and stray bushes from a lot and built their own baseball diamond, complete with an elevated pitcher's mound. The old man remembered the feeling of standing on that mound, exchanging signals with the catcher, and winding up to throw a pitch. Is that A, foreshadowing, B, flashback, or C, suspense? Number 14. I was just slowing down for one of the tunnels when I saw him standing under an arc light by the side of the road. I could see him quite distinctly. The bag, the cap, even the spots of fresh rain spattered over his shoulders. Distinctly means clearly. Which phrase from the excerpt above explains why the main character can see the hitchhiker distinctly? Spots of fresh rain, for one of the tunnels, under an arc light, over his shoulder. Number 15. How does the following event contribute to the development of the plot? Event number 1. Ronald Adams' mother expresses her deep concern about his road trip across the country. Her concern for her son foreshadowed the troubles Adam will face on his trip. It introduces the main character, the hitchhiker, as mysterious. It adds suspense because the reader experiences anxiety waiting to find out what happens next. It shows that there is definitely something sinister about the hitchhiker. Number 16. How does the following event contribute to the development of the plot? Event number 2. Adams sees the hitchhiker for the first time on the Brooklyn Bridge. We find out at the end of the story that the Brooklyn Bridge was the place where Adams was killed in a car accident. It adds suspense because the reader experiences anxiety waiting to find out what will happen next. It shows that Adams and his mother have a close relationship, and without the close relationship, Adams would not have called home at the end of the story to find out that he died. We discover that there is definitely something strange about the hitchhiker and his appearance. In this next section, you're going to use the plot diagram below to answer the next 5 questions. Where is the climax located on the plot diagram? Location A, location B, Location C. Location D. Where is the exposition located on the plot diagram? Location A. Location D. Location E. Location B. What is the location of the rising action on the plot diagram? Location D. Location B. Location E. Location C. Where is the falling action located on the plot diagram? Location C. Location D. Location A. Location E. Where is the resolution located on the plot diagram? Location A. Location C. Location E. Location B. Which three details are part of the exposition in Hitchhiker? That night, he sees the hitchhiker on the New Pennsylvania Turnpike. Early 1940s. On the highway. Adams is told that his mother has a nervous breakdown, grieving the loss of her son Ronald. Adams, his mother, and the hitchhiker. The operator says that Adams' 3 minutes are up. Which single detail is the climax in Hitchhiker? That night, he sees the hitchhiker on the New Pennsylvania Turnpike. The early 1940s. On the highway. Adams is told that his mother has had a nervous breakdown, grieving the loss of her son Ronald. Adams, his mother, the hitchhiker. The operator says that Adams' 3 minutes are up. Which two details are part of the falling action in Hitchhiker? That night, he sees the hitchhiker on the New Pennsylvania Turnpike. Mrs. Whitney tells Adams that he died 6 days ago in a car accident on the Brooklyn Bridge. Adams sits in the auto camp in New Mexico and ponders his death, who the hitchhiker is, and who he is himself. Adams is told that his mother has had a nervous breakdown, grieving the loss of her son Ronald. Adams, his mother, and the hitchhiker. The operator says that Adams' 3 minutes are up. Now this next section, they're all essential questions. And the directions say answer each question in no less than 3 complete sentences, including all of your non-negotiables. Remember, I grade up to your first non-negotiable. In The Hitchhiker by Lucille Fletcher, what techniques does the author use to make the play an exciting experience for the reader? In the Hitchhiker radio play, how does Orson Welles' performance make the experience entertaining for listeners? What did you learn about the human response to fear in the article, Why is Fear Fun? And the last question, why is fear such a popular form of entertainment?